Alright, so the purpose of this activity, girls, is we're going to draw a picture while we're doing our integer problem solving, okay? So you're going to follow what I do for the first problem up on the document camera, and we're going to use the colors here as well as the papers and your number lines to show how to visualize or think or draw a picture for each problem. It'll make it easier for us to understand. Any questions before we start? Let's try it. Okay. So, first thing, did everyone put their name on the paper? Yes? We're one step ahead of the game. Awesome. Alright, so the first thing I want you to do is grab one color, any color you want, from your markers. Okay? I'm going to take an orange one, and we're going to read the first problem together. And while we're reading it, we're going to highlight or underline the important information. But first I'm going to read it to you, and then we'll go back through and highlight. So just listen and follow along, okay? Alright, number one, this is about football. A football team loses 5 yards on one play, and then loses 8 yards on the next play. Write an addition expression that represents the change in positions of the team for the 2 plays. Then find the sum. So, the first thing we should underline is important information that we'll need. What's something important that we'll need to know in order to solve this problem? Look at the problem, say, what is it telling us? And raise your hand when you think you know. Perfect. So we're going to underline loses 5 yards. Why would we underline that?
Because it tells you how many you lose.
It tells you exactly how many you lose, okay? What else should I underline in here that gives us information to solve the problem? Raise your hand if you know. What else should I underline in this problem that will give us the information to solve it?
Loses 8 yards.
Perfect. Loses 8 yards. So we have loses 5 yards and loses 8 yards on the next play. So what's it asking us to do? Can you tell me? What's it asking us to do?
It's telling us to write an addition expression.
Addition expression. Okay. What have we been working on? What are we specifically adding? What are those words?
Integers.
Integers. So we're going to use an expression or an equation since we're solving it to write for this one. So we're going to underline that because it's asking us to write an addition expression that represents the change in the position of the 2 teams. What else is it asking us to do here? That's the last thing we have to do. We have to write the addition expression or the sentence. Yeah, what should we do? We have to find the sum. What does that mean to find the sum?
Find the answer.
Okay, so I found this wonderful picture of a football field. Okay? Isn't this wonderful? Now, what was the information we underlined or highlighted here on our page? What's the first thing we need to know? Yeah.
Well, it's a football team that loses 5 yards.
Okay, they lost 5 yards on one play. What does this football field look like that is in front of you? What does it look like? What's it similar to? What sheet? Yeah. Your number lines. And where do we always start on a number line?
At 0.
At 0. So, you girls are going to be artists today. So you're going to draw a football field. Okay? I'll draw it too. I'm not the best artist in the world, but let's try it, okay? What color should our football field be?
Green.
Green. Perfect. Why green?
Because that's the color of grass.
That's the color of grass. Okay. So let's draw our green football field.
Is it good if I start underlining with pencil?
Sure. You're going to draw your football field on your... Oh, you're going to outline it first. That's fine. Yes, that's fine. Okay. And then, let's see. What should my team name be?
How about the Wolves?
The Wolves. And who are they playing against?
The Tigers?
Alright, so this is the Wolves end zone. And this is the Tigers end zone. Alright, perfect. Once you have their names in there, Wolves and Tigers. Notice too how with my paper I did it the hot dog way, go horizontally, which you guys all did wonderful. Okay? Alright, so what did I say this is going to be similar to? What tool do we use?
A number.
A number line. So what's the first thing we should put on our number line or our football field?
0.
0. Where would it go?
In the middle? And 0.
Here?
Yeah.
Is this okay? Alright, so I'm going to write 0 on my paper. Here's 0. Good? Does that look alright?
We just put it in the bottom.
You can put it in the bottom or the top. And just be consistent there. Okay? Now, let's refer back to our sheet here. A football team loses 5 yards. Who do we want to lose 5 yards? The Tigers or the Wolves?
The Wolves.
The Wolves? Okay. Alright, that would make sense. So that means that they're going to go this direction. Since they're starting over here, they're going this direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, good. So if they're starting over there, they lost 5 yards. So where does negative 5 go? Which side of the 0? Left or right? Where do negatives go in a number line?
Maybe let's go this way.
To the left, okay? So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for negative 5. Take a second to do that. Draw your little hatch marks there. And notice that I didn't put all the numbers in between. I just counted, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't I just put negative 5? Why didn't I put all the numbers in between? And think, let's refer back to our sheet and say, what do we need to know?
Because we just need to know that the football team lost 5 yards.
Okay, so we're going to draw a football at the 5 yards. You ready?
Yeah.
What color should it be?
Brown.
Brown. If we don't have enough brown, feel free to use an orange. We might not have them all. So where am I drawing my football again? Where am I drawing my football again?
In the yard.
At what yard are we starting at?
At the Tigers.
Well, we're going this way. And where are we putting it over? The 0 or the negative 5? The negative 5? Okay. And where did it initially start? There's my football, kind of. Good as little bit, right? Okay. And we started at 0, so it traveled this way. So, what I did was I drew a line from 0 to negative 5, because that's the first play. So the first play, also they call it the first down in football. So when they went on the first down, they lost 5 yards, okay? What happened on the second play? Look at your sheet. What happened on the second play?
Then they lost 8 yards.
Lost 8 yards. Okay. Pick up that green again. So, how many tally marks are we going to make after the 5? Look at your sheet. We took care of this. We got rid of this information. Okay. Yeah.
8.
8. All right. So let's try it. So 8 more tallies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yeah, I did it.
Great. Now, that's where my football traveled. So what should I do with my football now?
Wait, do we have to do 8 more or 3 less?
You do 8 more because 8
yeah.
more lost,
Yeah.
right? If we gained, we'd be going this way. Why would we be going this way if we gained?
Because gain means going up.
I mean, gain means going up. And in other words, for opposite of negative is what? So we went -5 and we're gonna go this way because we keep losing. This team is not very good, right?
Yeah.
And where do they end up?
Negative
8? Let's see. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. This was their first play. And then they lost 8 more yards. So -6, -7, -8, -9, 10, 11, -12, -13. So they ended up at -13. So where will my football be now? At what kind of 13 though? Negative. Why is it at -13 again?
Because it says they lost 8.
They lost 8. They lost 5 and then they lost 8. I told you they're not a very good team. So I'm gonna throw my football over here. Okay? I'm gonna circle it too because this is where we ended up. Now we have to finish the rest of our problem. Okay? We read it, we underlined the important information, we drew a wonderful football picture, right?
Right.
Now what should we do? What's the problem asking us to do? What's it saying? Okay, we understand it. We visualized it. We have our picture. Now what do we do? What's the next step? Yeah.
Then find the sun.
Find the sum. How can I find the sum though?
13 minus 5.
13 minus 5. Well, where did we start though? We started, they lost how many first? They lost 5, and then they lost 8 more. Okay? So we have to write an addition expression. So for that, use your pencil. We have to put something here, and it's going to be addition. Something there, and here. So it's kind of like a fill in the blank. Based on the information they gave us, based on our picture, what do we put in those spots? Okay, so take a second to do that. One add-in plus another add-in equals the sum, which is what we're looking for. So this part, without the sum, is the expression, and then the whole thing is an equation. Tricky. So, go ahead. Kiss your brain, girl. That was awesome. -5 plus -8 equals -13. Excellent. You did it. Now, how did you do that? You want to phone a friend or you want to try this one? Take a second. Explain to me how you came up with this. How's that? You added -13. Why did you do -5? It was a loss of 5? Okay. Is that what you said? Couldn't hear you very well. And then same with here, it was a loss of 8? Yes. And then we get a -13. What do we know about the same signs when we're adding integers? Do we add or subtract? We add. And that's what we did. We added and we kept the sign, right?
Yeah.
You ready to draw another picture?
Yeah.
What's number 2 going to be about?
An elevator.
An elevator. Okay. You can choose to draw on the back of your football field, or you can get a whole new paper. I'm going to draw on the back so I don't kill a tree. But up to you. Okay? All right. So let's first start here. What's the first thing we should do? What do we do on this one? What's the first thing we should do?
Draw our elevator.
Well, how do you know what kind of elevator to draw? And where is it going? Up? Are you sure?
No, wait.
Is it going down?
It's going down.
How do you know?
Because negative.
But what should we do first? You're missing a step. What should we always do first? When we have a word problem,
We add.
how did you know what to underline?
We lose 5 yards.
How did you know what to underline in the problem? What did you have to do first? Did you just look at it and say, I know how to solve it?
No.
What did you do?
Well, we had to subtract 8 minus 5.
We actually added there, but remember what I did before we underlined all the information? I read aloud to you. So the only way we can find the information is if we do what? We have to simply what?
Simply
No.
Who can help her?
Yeah.
What should we do?
We gotta look back at the passage, and then we gotta read it, and then we gotta